Provo 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Fire. 7 foot south.
What's the location?
West. Older's apartment, number 154.
What's the problem there?
Fire.
There's a fire?
Fire. Fully engulfed.
The windows are exploding.
Okay, I'm going to dispatch the paramedics. Hold on.
There's a lady trapped upstairs. She can't get out.
There's a lady trapped.
There might be 1 or 2 people trapped upstairs.
You think somebody's trapped upstairs?
I see one person trapped upstairs trying to get out the window.
All units on scene, this will be a defensive fire at this time. This will be a defensive fire.
On January 20th, 2009, around 5:30 a.m., a fast-moving fire in a Provo apartment complex claimed the life of 55-year-old Karen Jorgensen. She was unable to escape from her second-story apartment. Another resident, a 38-year-old male, received serious injuries when he jumped from his second-story apartment. Less than 2 months later, on March 4th, 38-year-old Douglas Erickson died in a slow-moving fire in his second-story Provo apartment.
Dispatch Battalion 21's arrived. I have a 2-story residential structure, heavy fire showing. I have people trapped. First in, engine 24, you will be on rescue. I need to ladder this structure.
On March 14, 2011, Karen Murray, age 67, and Catherine Crane, age 63, died in a fire in their Provo apartment complex. The third victim, Jeanette Spar, narrowly escaped death by jumping from her second-story window. She was critically injured. Jeanette's friend, Jessica Sager, also jumped from the second story and fortunately received only minor injuries. The circumstances surrounding each of these fires were different, but the outcome was the same for Karen Jorgensen, Douglas Erickson, Karen Murray, and Catherine Crane. They were unable to escape, and they all died.
In Provo, we have a large number of multifamily dwelling units. We have a large number of students that attend BYU, UVU, and other local colleges that live in Provo. We also have a number of families of all sizes and all ages that live in multifamily dwellings. Of course, we're concerned about all of the residents that live in Provo, but in light of the recent fatalities that we've experienced in Provo, we're particularly concerned about the ability of those who live in multifamily dwellings to get out in the event of a fire.
According to a recent released report on civilian fire fatalities issued by the U.S. Fire Administration, 75% of all civilian fire fatalities in the United States are a result of fires in residential buildings. In Provo, 4 of the last 5 fire deaths occurred in multiple family dwellings. All 4 of the deaths occurred in units above the ground level.
There are several fundamental fire safety tips we would like to offer for your consideration. One of the leading causes of fires in Provo is food left unattended on the stove. We respond to it on average 1 of these calls every month. Sometimes these fires are significant. In 2009, we had a fire in a 4-plex as a result of unattended cooking that resulted in $200,000 of damage and displacement of 4 families. As a preventative measure, we suggest that you carry a utensil or wear an apron when you're cooking. That way you always have something to remind you that there's something cooking on the stove, and you don't put down the utensil or take off the apron until after you've turned off the stove.
Other common causes of residential fires in Provo have included candles, smoking, faulty electrical equipment, arson, lint in and around clothes dryers, children playing with fire, and even bathroom fans.
In recent months, an issue that's come to light here in Provo is overheating bathroom fans. We have seen several instances where families have left leaving their bathroom fan running and it is overheated, causing a smoldering fire in their attic. As a preventative measure, we would recommend vacuuming either monthly or during your spring or fall cleaning, vacuuming out the fan to remove the dust that's accumulated to reduce your risk.
Nationally, smoking and other unintentionally set, careless actions are the leading cause of residential fatal fires, followed by electrical malfunctions and intentionally set fire. The cause was undetermined in 45% of fatal fires.
We encourage all of our residents to do home fire safety inspections. These are great activities that you can do with your family. The purpose of a home fire inspection is to identify and then reduce hazards for fire. A home fire inspection checklist can be found on the fire department link at provo.org.
With the exception of preventing a fire altogether, the most important single element of a fire safety plan is early notification. This includes working smoke alarms in every sleeping room and in the common hallways. This is particularly important in buildings that are not equipped with automatic fire sprinklers.
Smoke alarms such as this are required in every sleeping room and every common hallway in rental dwelling units in Provo City. This is required by the Provo City Code, and the International Fire Code is adopted by the state of Utah. Smoke alarms are to be installed and maintained according to the manufacturer's recommendation. There are two kinds of smoke alarm, battery operated and hardwired with a battery backup. We recommend that you change the battery in all of your smoke alarms every time you change your clocks. We also recommend that you test your smoke alarms by pushing the test button every 30 days. Smoke alarms have a 10-year lifespan. They are required to be thrown away and replaced at the conclusion of that 10-year lifespan. We recommend a carbon monoxide detector on every level of your home.
If you're the property manager or owner of a multi-family apartment building, you're required to provide smoke alarms in every sleeping room and in common hallways of your building. If you're a tenant and you don't have a smoke alarm in every sleeping room, contact your property manager.
I had to stand outside and watch my girlfriend, my best friend, standing up above trapped. I couldn't get out.
If you live in a multi-family dwelling, regardless of how careful you are, you may be at risk of fire due to neighbors who may not be as conscientious as you are. Of those residents who died in the most recent fires in Provo, 2 out of the 4 were victims of a fire that started in someone else's apartment. By the time they were aware of the fire, it was too late for them to escape.
Getting a report of a citizen trying to jump out of the second floor window.
Exit 24, how far out are you? I got people hanging out of this window.
We recommend all of our residents establish a fire escape plan from every room in their dwelling. We are particularly concerned about those whose rooms are above ground level. We recommend a fire escape ladder or another acceptable means of escape from a second floor or above grade window. In the fire on March 14, 2011, Jeanette Spar and Jessica Skager had to jump from their second story window when their primary means of escape became blocked by fire. Jeanette Spar suffered severe injuries as a result of that jump. Had she been required to jump from the 3rd floor, her injuries could very well have been fatal.
It's important to remember that unlike what's portrayed in the movies or on television, you can't necessarily rely on the fire department to get you out in the event of a fire. On the night of March 14, 2011, the fire department was on scene just 6 minutes after the first 911 call, but it was too late to save Karen Murray or Catherine Crane.
The theme of National Fire Prevention Week is Protect Your Family from Fire. Provo Fire and Rescue echoes and supports this message. You can protect your family from fire by integrating simple, easy-to-do fire safety practices into your everyday life.
In summary, you can reduce the risk of fire in your residence by conducting regular fire safety inspections. A home inspection checklist can be downloaded from the Provo Fire and Rescue website or from the National Fire Protection Association. Early notification is essential. Be sure you have working smoke alarms in every sleeping room and common hallways. Smoke alarms are required to be installed and tested in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations. In battery-operated alarms and those with a battery backup, a battery must be replaced at least once a year. 2 times is recommended. Change the batteries in the spring and fall when you change your clocks for daylight savings time. Smoke alarms have a 10-year life and must be replaced at the end of the 10-year period. At least 1 carbon monoxide alarm should be installed on each level of your residence. A second means of egress is essential. In residential units above the ground level, a fire escape ladder is recommended second means of escape.
The fact that we've had 5 fire fatalities in Provo in the last 2 years alone is both disturbing and sobering. I hope you'll take this basic fire safety message to heart. Make the practice of protecting you, your family, your friends, your tenants, your neighbors a priority. it's a matter of life and death.